How much longer will it last and what's causing this? Indra Petersons smiling, but with us in the 8-degree temperatures of New York with the forecast. I should tell you all the wind chill where she's standing, 12 below. You're brave, Indra.
Yeah, you know, I have to tell you, I know you were standing out here just a week or so ago, John, when it felt like about the same temperature. And I was just in Boston where it felt like it was 20 below. But this is way worse. I mean, remember, wind chill is a combination here of the cold air mass and the winds. Yes, you're supposed to put them both together and it tells you what it feels like. But there's a difference when there's 40 and 50-mile-per-hour winds blowing that cold air straight at you. This is miserable today, and this is something New Yorkers and really a huge chunk of the entire Northeast will be dealing with. They're finally joining the party that the rest of the country has already been dealing with for the last several days here. So yes, these wind chills are cold, but keep in mind, even as we go throughout the day today, this cold air mass is still making its way in, so we're not going to be warming up as the day goes on. That is tough news to bear. As you know, it is already cold right now. So there's very strong winds out here. I'm not sure if you can even see the signs here behind me. They're shaking. Our news truck, our satellite trucks, they are shaking even as we're running in for cover right now. So those strong winds are also the same winds that are going to be producing blizzard conditions off of the lake, so off of Lake Erie and Lake Ontario. Anywhere from 1 to 3, even 2 to 5 feet of snow is going to be possible in those regions with those strong winds and the heavy amounts of snow bringing those visibility areas down. Now, this cold air mass, we know it is moving all the way down even into the southeast today, where temperatures are going to be dropping 30 degrees from just yesterday. So many places in the southeast, hard to believe, are going to be below freezing even as we go throughout the afternoon. Now, I know it feels like it's miserable for so many of us, but remember, the worst is still out towards Minneapolis, out towards Minnesota. We're talking about temperatures there still in that particularly dangerous situation, that rare issuance of awareness there. We're talking about temperatures 40 below to even 60 below. They're still talking about those dangerous temperatures out there. The relief, we all need to know, comes as early as tomorrow, about a good 10-degree warm up every day. But of course, it takes some time to get back to where we need to be when it is this cold.
That is crazy, Indra. And she did say 3 to 5 feet of snow in upstate New York. Some crazy stuff going on. Thanks so much, Indra. Stay warm, or try to.
All right, the Senate will...
Chilly temperatures, understatement of the year. Feels like 50 below in Duluth. Minnesota, 28 below. 180 million Americans being affected here. We're going to begin in Battery Park City. We have our meteorologist, Indra Petersons. She is out there standing in what is obviously a bitter cold right off the water. Indra, I'm sorry to have you out there, but there is a story to tell. What are you dealing with?
I mean, it's unbelievable the difference here. One of the things I keep putting in perspective is I was just in Boston just a few days ago where it was 20 below. Here this morning, it's 6 degrees right now in Battery Park with a wind chill of 10 below. But I can tell you, it feels so much worse. We already know the wind chill already accounts for that Arctic air mass and the winds combined. Not sure if you can see, but I mean, these winds are howling to about a good 50 miles per hour. That Arctic air mass is moving into the Northeast right now, and it is miserable for millions of Americans right now. The coldest air in decades, gripping more than half of the country. Temperatures are falling fast as thousands are waking up again without power.
This is extremely cold.
From the Midwest to the Northeast, schools and government offices are closed this morning as bitter cold Arctic air plunges to dangerous sub-zero levels.
Usually it's snow, if anything, not cold.
In Minneapolis, feels like temps were a deadly 40 below on Monday, closing schools across the entire state.
About 10 to 15 minutes, we're looking at the potential for frostbite. So for our kids who are walking to school or have to wait at a bus stop, that's extremely dangerous.
The governor of Illinois issued a disaster declaration as major interstates froze over with black ice.
It's a very hazardous combination, the very cold weather that we have and the black ice that you really don't see until you start slipping and sliding.
And about 80 miles north of Chicago, densely drifting snow stopped 3 Amtrak trains dead in their tracks, leaving over 500 passengers stranded overnight. Even this plow couldn't dig them out. One passenger tweeted, "I would cry about being stuck on this Amtrak, but my tears would probably just freeze." Indiana's governor declaring a state of emergency in more than 24 counties. Driving banned in some areas.
I've been here 3rd generation all my life, and I don't remember a storm like this for a while.
So once again, we're really talking about these winds howling in New York City this morning. We're talking about 40-mile-per-hour winds with a wind chill 10 below zero. And here's the problem. It is not expected to warm up as we go throughout the day. It's something we call a polar vortex. I mean, picture this cold air that's supposed to be at the North Pole has already sagged south in the Midwest yesterday, and today it has spread into the Northeast. Now, that cold air still spreading into the Northeast and even into the Southeast. So with that, again, we are not expected to warm up. The temperature difference between today's highs and these morning lows only expected to be about 2 or 3 degrees today. So what we are dealing with this right now, keep in mind I have so many layers on, and at this point it is not protecting me from this cold. So anyone heading outdoors this morning trying to get to work, remind yourself you really do need those extra layers, or stay home if you can, or get a ride. It is not the day to be outdoors. There's definitely some dangerous conditions out here, guys.
Dangerously cold this morning. Indra, thank you so much. We'll check back in with you throughout the show, of course. And